Greetings of the day, children. A warm welcome to each one of you for the virtual session of science. So let us see what are we going to have in this session. As you all know, we have already begun with the chapter getting to know plants. So in this session we are going to do part 2. I hope you all have already started writing in your notebook, and we have done different sorts of plants. We have seen shrubs, herbs, trees, creepers, and different types of examples we have seen, and the structure we have seen, how they grow and what are the benefits we have. All that we have discussed in the previous session. Let us see what are we going to have in this session. We are going to learn about one more type of plant over here. You can see climbers. So let us see what are climbers and how we classify them as climbers, and we will see different type of examples over here of climbers. These are also plants with soft and weak stems, but instead of spreading on the ground, they take support with nearby object to climb up. So as the name suggests, climbers, they are going to climb with certain object where they find support. They try to take the support of that object and they grow on that. They take the support of the nearby object to them. Wherever they find the nearby object, they started taking the support and they grow with the help of that object. As you have seen creepers, they spread on the ground, as the name suggests, creepers. Similarly, climbers, as the name suggests, they are going to climb. They are going to climb with the help of some support. Some example of creepers you have cucumber, bean, grapevine, money plant. Money plant is very common at home. People do grow at the door and for beautification. So it doesn't require soil and all that manure and all to grow. People just keep it in a bottle, and they just need to put water in that bottle or in some container. You just need to keep water, and the minerals all that supplied from water to the plants, and they're beautifully grown at the door for the and gives a very good environment. It looks very beautiful at the door. So for beautification, people do grow money plants at the door. You must have seen this, children. Please do write in your notebook all these. Here you can see pea plant, the climbers, grapevine and money plant. They take a support of the nearby object. They take a support of the nearby tree or any trunk they get. They are going to take support. So they definitely require support, and if we were to grow all this type of plant like climbers, so we take care of the support which has to be given to these plants so that they can grow properly. So this is how they grow. And weeds plants, let us see weeds, one more type of plants, and it has altogether different characteristics. Up till now we have seen the plants which is grown for beautification. There are plants for medicinal values, trees, all of them have some of the other medicinal values. They either give beautiful flowers or fruits. Now these are the different types of plants which you are going to learn, that is weeds. Weed, general term for any plant growing where it is not wanted. So we don't want these plants. We never grow these plants. They naturally grow, and they are unwanted plants. Ever since humans first attempted the cultivation of plants, they had to fight the invasion by weeds into the area chosen by crops. So they are the unwanted plants. The seeds are carried away by the agents like wind and birds, and they're being spread in large areas. You must have seen in the remote areas, when you go to some remote areas in villages, you see lots of greeneries. In the forest also you see lots of greenery. So actually those all spread all over in the area, those are weeds. In a crop, like when you have a crop of watermelon or crop of pea plant, you will have all around weeds which is not required. They actually compete with the plants which we want, with the crops which we are growing. Along with that, some unwanted plants will grow. These are unwanted plants which will not give you any benefit, no flower, no medicinal value. They just grow naturally and cover up the whole area, and they actually compete with the other plants for food and water and all. So they cover larger area in the forest, in the crop field, and Must have seen lots of greenery when you go to villages. So it is not like all the desirable plants are grown across the area. It is the weed plants which is unwanted, and we don't want that plants to grow, but they grow naturally. Please do take down. It's very important for you to know what are weeds. So here you can see this type of greenery in a garden, also in some open area, and in the field, in forest. All those area occupied by the weeds. These are unwanted plants. Here you can see weeds on the road. They grow and they crack. They create cracks on the road. You must have seen this somewhere on the roads where they get a chance to grow, and they will just grow, will crack the roads or the ground, and this is not required actually. They grow on their own. Here you can see these weeds. They are just growing. Randomly they will grow and occupy large areas. So you have to take care of weeds. You have to put some weedicides. Some chemicals are put over the area so that weeds are not grown, and we can easily grow some crops which we want, because they will compete with the crops which we want, and they will hamper, they will interfere in their growth. That's why we don't want weeds. So in such cases farmers put weedicides. Those are the chemicals used to take care of the weeds. It will not allow weeds to grow. Here you can see worse garden weeds. All area occupied with unnecessary plants which is not required. They are just growing naturally. Now one more type of plants here we will see: algae and mosses. Algae and mosses are the most primitive or simple plants. So when we have plants on the earth long years ago, many years ago, millions of years ago, their time there was a growth of algae and mosses. That's why they are called as most primitive or the simple type of plants. And then as the years goes, with the years over the years, the plants modified, and what we have now, we have varieties by the nature, and we ourselves can have hybrid plants. So algae and mosses, they are extremely important because they are the most simple plants we have on earth. And algae are found mostly floating on water, and mosses are seen on the surfaces, rocks, bark of trees in humid condition. The only thing they require is the humid condition. You must have seen greenery on the wet walls on the roadside. You must have seen that. All that wet surfaces, you see some greeneries. So those are the mosses. And algae, they float on the still water. You must have seen on the lakes, on the ponds, all the greenery spread on the surface of the water. Those are algae, and they are naturally grown. So here you can see some algae and mosses. You can see on the have a look on this image, children. So algae and mosses, they are the most simple ones, and you must have seen some greenery on the surface of the walls. Here we have the concept of leaf now. Since we are learning about plants, we have seen varieties of plants. We have seen herbs, shrubs, trees, creepers, climbers, weeds, algae, mosses. We have seen all different sorts of plants. Now we are going to learn about the parts of the plants in detail. So the first part, very important part of the plant, that is leaf. So we are going to learn each part of the plant in detail. Now let us see. Leaf is the most important part of the plant. Most leaves of plants are green in color. As you all know, most of the leaves on the earth, they all are green in color because most of them have chlorophyll, which chlorophyll pigment is responsible for the green color in leaves. And there are different shapes and sizes of the leaves, as you all know, and different parts of leaves have different parts. Here you have the midrib, the veins, the leaf blade or lamina. So here you will see different parts of the leaf. That is very important. You should know. If you study structure of the leaf, the main parts of the leaf you should know will have a midrib, it will have a veins, it will have a leaf blade or lamina. Please take this down, children, and we are going to have a diagram here. After this, we are going to see the different parts in detail. So here these are the very important parts. Please take it down. Parts of a leaf. Petiole. This is the stalk or via which the leaf is joined to the plant. So the leaf is joined to the plant with the help of a petiole. This is a stalk. What is lamina then? This is the expanded part of the green portion of any leaf which is responsible for photosynthesis. So this is the extended part, the surface part of the leaf which are green in color, and they are the ones responsible for the process of photosynthesis. That means in the preparation of food, this is the part where the food will be prepared by the leaf. As you all know, the leaf prepare the food and then it is transported to all the various parts of the plants. Veins. The many lines that run through the surface of the leaf are called veins. You must have seen leaf where you will see tiny structure running across the surface of the leaf. That tiny structure, fine lines, are veins, as we have veins in our body. Similarly, the leaf shows veins, and the design made by them is called leaf venation. So the different design is because they run across the leaf surface and they create design. So how the design is created, that is called as leaf venation. Different type of leaf will show different type of design of the veins in the leaf. So they transport water and minerals as well. So as blood is supplied in a body with the help of the veins, similarly in leaves, water and minerals is supplied to all the various parts of the plant with the help of the veins. And then it has midrib. This is the central prominent thick structure right in the middle of the leaf that helps support the leaf and prevent it from breaking. So this is the midrib, as we have vertebral column. As you all know, we have vertebral column. A spine is erect because of that vertebral column, and similarly the leaf has a midrib. It will help. It gives the support to the leaf and it prevents the leaf from breaking. I hope you all have taken down all these, children. So here you have the structure of a leaf, parts of the leaf. Please draw this diagram in your notebook, children. Extremely important. Please draw this diagram along with the labeling. Please do label with a black ballpoint pen, so it will look very neat and tidy, and you need to learn about the various parts of a leaf. Please draw this diagram along with the labeling. So here you can see the leaf base, then you see a stem, and the axil is the point at which the leaf is attached to the stem. So please label all that. So that is a point, the axil is the point at which the leaf is attached to the stem. Then you can see the midrib where it gives a support to the leaf and it will prevent it from breaking. Then it has a margin. You can see the margin, the tip, and you can see the vein. As we have veins in our body to carry blood, similarly they have veins to carry to transport water and minerals. And again, the tiny structure which you can see attached to the veins, that is called as venules, and the entire part you can see labeled as leaf blade. So the part of the leaf which cover all these midrib, margin, tip, veins, venules, these are actually leaf blade. And a petiole, you can see a stalk which is actually attaching, which help to attach the leaf to the stem. And the axil is the point at which it shows the connection. So I hope these parts of a leaf is very clear with you all, children. And please neatly draw the diagram. If you want to color it, please do the coloring part of this. It will look very neat. Now we distinguish between two major types of leaf venation. As you have learned about the veins of a leaf, so and it shows different design on the leaves. So majorly you have two types of design on the leaves because of the veins. The veins will run across the surface of the leaf in different manners. What are the two different manners in which the venation can happen? That is reticulate venation and parallel venation. This is extremely important. So reticulate venation is said to exist when the veins form a net-like shape on either side of the midrib. This type of venation is seen to exist in dicots like the plants like guava and mango. That means dicots means the seeds will have two parts. You can open them. Like guava and mango seeds, the seeds have two parts. When you open it, breaks into two parts. So that's why they are called as dicots. So this type of guava and mango will show reticulate venation, where it will have veins like in a network shape, in a net-like shape. What are parallel venation? Parallel venation is said to exist when the veins run parallel to one another. So when the veins are running parallel to one another, this type of venation exists in monocot. That means the seeds will have only one single part. It will not open into two, like banana, wheat and coconut. So this venation is extremely important. Leaves venation can be of two types. That means veins can run in two different ways. It will be a net-like, or it can run parallelly. So accordingly, it is named as reticulate venation and parallel venation. Here you can see the example parallel venation. Maize and corn plants will show parallel venation. You can see over here. On the extreme left, you can see parallel venation, and reticulate venation. You can see reticulated venation, where it shows net-like veins in the leaves. Just have a look how it is being spread, how the veins run across the surface of the leaf. So examples of the plant showing reticulate venation, take down examples where they show net-like veins. Rose, tulsi, hibiscus, papaya, mangifera. Then examples of plants showing parallel venation, the grains, banana, canna, grass, musa, oriza. All these plants will show parallel venation. So I hope reticulate venation and parallel venation types of venation in leaf is clear with you all. Here you just have a look on reticulate and parallel venation. Here you can see on the top you can see the leaves which shows reticulate venation, and the diagram below where it shows parallel venation. The parallel venation can run, the veins are running parallelly, you can see. And reticulate venation, you can see how the veins forms net-like. I hope this concept of reticulate venation and parallel venation of the leaves very clear with you all children. So here we come to an end of the session children. I hope you all enjoyed the session and it was very interesting hopefully. Thank you children and have a great day.